Ahoy, ahoy there, and welcome to the Advent series with a Happy Chappy corner. A couple of thoughts for today. So I want to talk a little bit more about yesterday's second reading, and then one more thing to say after that. And it's in the second reading. It talks about it's from the letter of Peter, and it talks about God being patient. And the Advent season is about waiting. And it's interesting here. It says, "But do not ignore this one fact, beloved, that with the Lord 1 day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years like 1 day." The Lord is not slow about his promise, as some think of slowness, but is patient with you, not wanting any to perish, but all to come to repentance. It's interesting because we have a world that is designed to help us not have to deal with waiting. And I know I have trouble with waiting. I definitely do. And it's interesting because our world, I don't know, I don't think it's about not caring, and I don't think it's about being afraid of people not allowing information, but that there's so many distractions and there's so many things to take us away from the present moment that we will distract ourselves into oblivion and into anxiety and into all of these different things because we are not practicing waiting. And sometimes we think, God, this is taking forever. This is taking forever. And in this reading, we see, it feels like forever with us, but God's patient with us. And it's like God is always right there, but we're so busy distracting ourselves that we have trouble being able to sit in the present moment and just be present to presence, be present to God in every moment. And so this idea of the thief, the other thing to put on this is that sometimes when something happens in our life, we let that moment define us. And even if it's complete crap and we're miserable and we're angry and we're frustrated people, but we grasp onto that, and it almost becomes a security blanket in a really, really weird way where we can't let go of it, because letting go of it would make you vulnerable and would maybe you have to open up to talk about things. But all of this about bring it up to the mountain and come up to the mountain to see God, and it's lifting this up, and do not be afraid to open. And it's almost like in that moment of all of these times of suffering, it is God like a thief taking from us this thing that even though it was painful, we have clung on to so hard that even if we're miserable, we're so scared of change. But then this next line here, it says, not wanting any to perish, but all to come to repentance. And remember, repentance isn't bad. Repentance is but for all to come to a change of mind. To every moment go beyond the mind that we have, the perspective that we have. And no, it's not naivete, if you will. It's not saying, so just ignore everything and just skip through the part, happy, pretend that nothing's going on. No, it's entering it and being able to sit patiently in it, and to sometimes forgive reality for being what it is, but to be able to allow God like a thief to take whatever it is that you've been hanging on to, and that has been holding you in anger. But we can be so scared of change that we even sit in that life damaging position. And the other one last thing I want to say, which is about the gospel today, and one thing that you could do that is a good thing that you could do is in the gospel today, there's a man that can't walk, and then his friends want him to see Jesus, but there's so many people all around that they can't. And so they climb this roof, and they lower him down, and Jesus says, "Your faith has saved you, your faith." And it wasn't the man's faith, it was the disciple, the friend's faith. So I guess this idea of community, who are we surrounding ourselves with? Is it life-giving? Is it joy-giving? Or is it life-damaging and just pure distraction? Because what our souls really long for is to be present with each other, and to be able to, and if you want to see yourself, look around and look at your friends, because that's usually kind of a mirror image of a lot of different parts of you. And so two things would be, one, to look at what are we grasping onto that we can let go of God. Can we practice waiting and sitting in presence? And can we look around us and see what community are we surrounded with? Is it love and inclusion and beauty? And let's strive for that. So there's your thoughts for the day. Grace and peace, all y'all. Mwah.